Shalom. So today we read in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground. Now, just to touch this part, formed. It says formed here because this is what? A modulation, right? Because men were already created from chapter 1. This is chapter 2. He created man from chapter 1. So this form here is a modulation, right? So it's just like your electronic device. You invent it, and then another time you can install the software, right? So this is basically the same thing. Now it says, and the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Or in order for us to understand this, we need to understand Adam. All right, I'm just gonna write it this way. And over here, Dam. All right. Now, Dam is the Hebrew word for blood. Blood you get from mother and father, right? Now, the spirit, this is the Ah. Ah refers to the spirit, right? The strong leader, the Most High, right? Now, what we see here is we have a material part of us, the human side, the carnal part, and over here we have the spiritual part, right? So this plus this equals the individual, right? Which we call the Adam. In English, it's like just a name, but in Hebrew, as you can see, it's a whole different meaning, right? Now, what happens here is this is the difference between humans and animals, because animals do have spirit, right? But we were created in his image. A dog can only be a dog. It cannot be anything greater than that, right? A bird cannot be greater than a bird. The thing is, as humans, you can be greater than what you are, right? So this is why we were created in his image. We have the potential to be greater than what we become. So for example, he says he can take man from a low estate and put them to sit among kings, right? And high priests and so forth. So that is being greater than what we are. It's just like they called us all these names back then, and now what? We're becoming the sons of God through knowledge, right? So the Ah and the Dam is basically where spirit meets our human side, which is the flesh. In the middle right here is a bridge, and this meeting this in the middle, you get the soul. What happens here? You get to choose what you want to do, right? So you can choose to follow the spirit of the law, the scriptures, and do what is right according to the scriptures, or you can choose to follow the temptations of the flesh, right? So you're here in the middle. So when you get this wisdom of the Most High, what it actually gives you is what? Now you have a conscience, your eyes are opened, right? So if you do something wrong, guess what? Somewhere inside of you is going to tell you, because here your mind and your body is what makes war against this, right? So as it says in Romans chapter 8, verse as it says in Romans chapter 8 verse 7, Because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can it be. Right? Because what happens in here, we call it the ego. And this is not ego in terms of pride, right? This is just a mixture of what happens here and here. It goes against what? The knowledge of your intellect. Your intellect says, thou shalt not eat pork, but what? The mind and the body say, I want to eat pork. No, you are here in the middle to choose, because knowledge gives you the free will to consciously choose not to eat pork and follow after the spirit, or you go with the temptations of the flesh, right? And this is why you account for your errors, your transgression, right? So this is what Adam actually means. It's talking about the spirit and the flesh coming together. So it is like a bridge where the river meets the sea. So you have here on one side of the bridge, the river. Over here you have the sea. Where they meet in the middle is like they lose their identification. It's a mixture of both, right? Now, what happens here with us as humans, you have the ability to choose. This is why we have a potential to become greater than what we are, right? Because the ego has already been conditioned. You get things from your mother, get things from your father, things from the culture, things from the religions, everything around. It's all here. But when you get into the knowledge, what happens? Your spirit consumes your flesh. Absent knowledge and wisdom, the flesh consumes the spirit. So this is why our journey or our mission is to cross over. Cross over from what? The natural man to the spiritual man, right? And this is where wisdom, knowledge, and understanding comes into play. Shalom.